the early 2000s, a disturbing pattern of unexplained patient deaths began to emerge across several hospitals in the United States. Patients who were previously stable suddenly suffered a cardiac arrest and hypoglycemia, often without any medical examination. At the center of this mysterious death was a registered nurse named Charles Cullen. This case would later become one of the most shocking examples of healthcare-related serial killings in modern history. What makes the Charles Cullen case particularly significant is not only the scale of the crimes, but also the critical role that forensic science played in uncovering the truth. This documentary analyzes the case of Charles Cullen as presented in Catching the Killer Nurse, with a focus on the forensic evidence that contributed to the investigation and eventual conviction. Charles Cullen was a licensed nurse who worked in multiple hospitals across New Jersey and Pennsylvania over a period of more than 15 years. During this time, he was involved in the care of hundreds of patients, many of whom later died under suspicious circumstances. The victims were primarily hospital patients, most of whom were elderly or critically ill, making their deaths less likely to raise immediate suspicion. However, investigators later identified a troubling pattern where an unusually high number of patient deaths occurred during Cullen's work shifts. Between the late 1980s and early 2000s, Cullen moved frequently between hospitals. Despite internal concerns and unexplained incidents, hospitals often failed to report him to authorities, allowing him to continue practicing as a nurse. The crimes were eventually uncovered after a detailed investigation revealed that Cullen had been administering lethal doses of medication, including digoxin and insulin, to patients without medical justification. It is estimated that Charles Cullen may have been responsible for the deaths of dozens and possibly hundreds of patients, making him one of the most prolific serial killers in American history.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackie Hyland. Kaidi is off. A former nurse at a hospital in New Jersey is accused of killing his patients tonight, lots of them.
In fact, if it's true what he says, he left a trail of death behind him. As he sees it, he only helped people who were suffering, but police call him nothing more than a mass murderer.
Toxicology in this case, the two main drugs involved were digoxin and insulin. Digoxin is normally used to treat heart failure and irregular heartbeat, but when given in high dose, it interferes with the heart electrical system. This can cause serious heart block and even sudden cardiac arrest. One important forensic clue is hyperkalemia, which means a very high potassium level in the blood level. For example, at Somerset Medical Center, a woman who had stopped taking digoxin for 24 hours was found dead with a digoxin level of 9.8 nanogram per milliliter, which is extremely high. This shows that the drug had been given without any medical reason.
Was a very powerful cardiac medication.
What does it do to someone?
In small amounts, it slows the heart rate down. In larger amounts, it can cause what's called complete heart block. And then the heart is very irregular. And, it can cause death. It does cause death in large amounts.
Meanwhile, insulin works differently. It lowers blood sugar when too much insulin is given. It causes several hypoglycemia. Since the brain depends on glucose, low blood sugar can lead to confusion, coma, and eventually death. This effect can happen hours later, which makes insulin poisoning difficult to detect. For example, at Liberty Nursing and Rehabilitation Center, Cullen injected insulin into a patient with a broken neck, causing violent seizures and almost killing him. Next, for the analyzed medical record, many patients were stable and even improving, but suddenly collapsed or died. Some had higher level of digoxin or insulin, even though these drugs were not prescribed to them. In some cases, medication records were missing and looked suspicious. A 91-year-old cancer patient from Warren Hospital told family that a male nurse had injured her during the night. She died the next day. Her family raised concern, but the incident was dismissed by hospital staff. And for the comparison, patient day visitor schedule, a clear pattern appeared. Most of the suspicious death happened during childless Cullen shift, especially at night when there was less supervision and family visits. This same pattern was seen across several hospitals, which strongly suggests that the deaths were not random. The third part is trace evidence, which was very important in this case because there was very little physical evidence. Instead, investigators relied on digital record and behavioral pattern. Cullen used an electronic medication cabinet known as FRS system. The audit log showed that he accessed medication that were not prescribed to his patient. He also used an order and cancel method where he placed medication order, took the drug and then cancelled the order to avoid detection. In addition, he frequently accessed the medical record of patients who were not under his care. At Eastern Hospital, nurse noticed IV bag with multiple puncture marks. When this was combined with digital log showing Cullen spending long period alone in the medication room, it provides strong trace evidence of his action. A key figure in uncovering the case was Amy Lauren, Cullen College. She noticed that the pattern of death and later helped investigators by wearing a wire during conversation with him.
For the next part is hospital log and scheduling system. Digital forensic focus on hospital computer systems such as electronic medical record, automated drug dispensing cabinet, and staff scheduling system. System recorded children access to patient file and medication, which provided investigators with object digital evidence of suspicious activity. For example, children frequently access patient record for individuals that he was not assigned to care for. For some cases, he accessed medications order and cancelled them immediately after retrieving the drugs. His actions create a strong pattern of criminal behavior because after the action carried out by him, often followed by the death of the patient. For investigate analysis failure, hospital failed to report children's suspicious behavior to authorities due to fear of lawsuit, and many institutions did not share information about children's past issue with other hospitals. This failure allowed children to continue killing patients across other institutions. At first, this case was difficult to detect because many victims were already sick, making their deaths appear natural. Other than that, digital monitoring systems were not analyzed in real time. Hence, warning signs were missing for many years. In conclusions, the childless children case highlights the critical role of forensic toxicology, medical record analysis, and digital forensic in uncovering hidden crime. It also demonstrates the consequences of institutional negligence and the importance of transparency, reporting, and data sharing within healthcare system.
A registered nurse who was supposed to be a caretaker took the life of my brother for his own personal, selfish, and twisted gain.